Hi, I'm Dan Smith, and I'm the Director of Development for Josiah White's Quakerdale Foundation here in New Providence, Iowa. Last week, I had the privilege of traveling to Dubuque and give a presentation on charitable gifts of real estate to Operation Empower. At the end of that presentation, they asked if I make a brief recording of the slides so that they could pass it on to people that were unable to attend or might have an interest in the charitable gifts of real estate. So here we go. Charitable gifts of real estate. Donors usually give gifts out of two pockets. The first one is called disposable income. Disposable income is the most common form of making a donation. It's usually cash or credit. It's very accessible to the donor, and it's often recurring. The second pocket of giving by donors is non-cash assets. It's the least common form of making a donation. It's not easily accessible, and it's not usually recurring. Some examples would include grain, stocks and bonds, real estate, land, residential properties, or commercial properties. Charitable gifts of real estate are a win-win-win for all those that are involved. It's a win for the property owner because they receive a tax credit for the fair market appraised value of the property donated. It's a win for the nonprofit because they usually receive a donation in the neighborhood of 6+ figures by the time everything's said and done. And it's definitely a win for the real estate professional because they receive their full commission just like any other sale that would happen of the property when it's converted to cash. The most common process for converting a charitable gift of real estate to a cash donation to the nonprofit is this. The property owner donates to the nonprofit and they receive their tax credit. The nonprofit then receives the property and is responsible for any update or improvements that are needed to get the property ready to sell. They also incur any liability issues that are associated with that property until the property is sold. Once the property is sold, they keep the net profit from the sale of the property. The real estate agent usually is asked to discount their commission and in return receive an in-kind donation to the nonprofit. Unfortunately, the most common response both for nonprofit and for real estate agents is, no, thank you. On the nonprofit side, they usually don't receive gifts of real estate because the work and the liability issues that are associated with the process. On the real estate side, agent side, it's usually not what they want to do because of the expectation to donate their commission. In comes an organization called Real Agents of Change, and the whole game changes. With the Real Agents of Change, the property owner donates to a specialized nonprofit instead of the original nonprofit. They receive their tax credit just like before. The specialized nonprofit then is the one who receives the property, becomes responsible for the upkeep and improvements, and incur any liable issues that are associated with that property until the sale. They then facilitate the sale of the property with local real estate agents. In return, they receive their investment back plus a 6 to 9% commission on the gross profit. The real estate agent receives their full commission on the gross profit of 6%, and the Real Agents of Change receive a compensation from the specialized nonprofit. The nonprofit then is granted the net profit by the specialized nonprofit. Now, it can be a little bit confusing. Let's follow the money. Property owner, they make a fair market appraised value of $500,000 and receive a tax credit for the same amount. The specialized nonprofit invests $100,000 in the property improvements. The real estate agent sells the property then for $400,000 and receives a 6% commission on the $300,000 gross profit for a total of $18,000. The specialized nonprofit is reimbursed their $100,000 for improvements on the property, plus a 9% commission on the $300,000 for $27,000. The Real Agents of Change receive $9,000 compensation from the specialized nonprofit. The nonprofit, they receive a grant of $255,000. Again, let's look at the numbers. The property sells for $400,000. Specialized nonprofit receives back their investment of $100,000. That makes the gross profit $300,000. The specialized nonprofit receives a commission of 9%, which is $27,000, and they give $9,000 to the Real Agents of Change. The agent's commission is $18,000, 6% of the $300,000. The nonprofit receives a grant then for $255,000. It's a win-win-win. win. It's a win for the property owner because they get immediate tax credit for the appraised value of the property that they donate. It's a win for the nonprofit because they get that six-figure donation without the work and the risk of converting the property into cash. And it's a win for the real estate agent because they get their full commission on the gross profit of the sale. There's one other charitable gifts or real estate process you need to be aware of, but it's called the bargain sale. From time to time, you'll run into a property owner that not only wants to donate their property, but they also need to receive partial income from that as well. It's called a bargain sale. In this case, the property again sells for $400,000. The property owner, however, would like to have $100,000 in cash from that when it comes back. That means that their donation drops from $500,000 to $400,000. The specialized nonprofit still makes the investment $100,000 on the property to get it ready for sale. That makes the gross profit now $200,000 instead of $300,000. The specialized nonprofit's commission of 6% gets their commission of 6%, excuse me, 9% for $18,000, with $6,000 going to the real agents of change. The agent commission is $12,000. The net profit that's granted to the receiving nonprofit is $170,000, where it was $255,000 on the other side. Remember that $485 billion per year in charitable donations are given in the United States. Of that $485 billion, $7.8 billion are gifts of real estate. And here's the shocking thing. Charitable gifts of real estate, they've been around since 1918. What's the next step? As a real estate professional, become a certified charitable real estate specialist with a real agents of change so they can engage in all the hard work with the specialized nonprofit for you. Learn how to identify potential properties that would make good charitable gifts of real estate. Learn how to communicate the benefits of making a charitable gift of real estate to the property owner. And then finally, learn how to refer the property owner to the real agents of change so they can work on behalf of Operation Empower, get that property, donate to the specialized nonprofit, and then convert it to cash to that nonprofit. And for you as a real estate agent to then begin to list those properties. There are four people we're talking about that are part of this presentation. The first is Operation Empower. You can see their contact information there. The real agents of change, they're the ones that help facilitate the transition from property owner to actual sale for the real estate agent. Realty Gift Fund, that's the name of the specialized nonprofit that handles all of this stuff. And they're the ones that make investments of their own money to improve the property and get it ready for sale. They're also the ones that facilitate with real estate professionals to get the property sold. And then finally, here's my information at the Quakerdale Foundation. If you'd like more information or a copy of this presentation, hey, just shoot me an email at dsmith@quakerdale-foundation.org, and I'll send you a PDF of it. Or we can have a conversation at 319-830-0182. That's my cell. That'd be the first one I suggest. Or 641-497-5294 is the office. Not there very often, so please try the cell phone first. On behalf of Operation Empower, I want to thank you for taking a look at this presentation. And if you got any questions, give me a call.